So we just let him stay with his grandfather, and he went to Rossmini College, which is on the shore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, down in where was it, Takapuna way.
Oh,
area.
yep.
Yeah, so he went there, and all I said to him, as long as your grades stay good, then I'll keep you down here. As soon as you start slipping, then I'll be bringing you back home. And yeah, I think within 9 months, his grades did start slipping. So come on, boy.
I told you, gave you a warning.
Yeah, I gave him several.
Yeah.
So and then he ended up.
Okay. Hopefully that came out of it.
I heard it.
Yep. Ready, right?
Yeah, mate. I'm all good.
Ready. Yo, counting it down in 3, 2, 1. What's good, How Dad family? It's your boy, Benny Boy, filling in for the bro AJ this week. Happy to be joined on the couch this week by Brother Brian.
Good, everyone.
How you, bro? How you?
Very well.
Good. So, me, AJ, Brian, all work together. Taylor Preston, represent. First off, bro, how are you? Mental health check?
No, very
good. How are we doing? Very
good. Getting over my Sunday. Didn't have a big night last night, just a quiet night sitting at home, watch the league.
Oh, yep.
I'm not a big drinker. I think I had 4 cans of bourbon, just that's me, quiet one. Watch it, and then organise the boys for this morning. Like as I said to you earlier, after here, got to go back to work, do a bit of mahi, and then get ready for Monday, and we rock again.
Yo, speaking of league, what's your team?
Oh, I like the Rabbits,
Yep.
And I like the Roosters, and I like watching the Warriors lose, but they're not.
Yeah, they lost this week.
Nah, yeah. Oh, I did pick the Rabbits to beat.
Unfortunately, lost to the Bunnies.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a little bit about yourself, bro.
I'm 56 years old. Been living in Wellington for the last 7 years. Moved down from Dargaville, Northland, in 2016. Worked in the stockyards. Been in the meatworks since '99.
Oh,
yeah,
seasoned.
I moved up to Dargaville at the end of '99 to start a position in the yards. In the boning room. But prior to that, it was I'm actually a butcher by trade, and I've had my own butcher shops back in the '90s. My father had a shop. I worked for him. I was butchering ever since I was 13 years old.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was taught that way by butchering. So I moved up to Dargaville, and this is part of the cast. I moved up to Dargaville. I was actually going to be a house dad. That was always the plan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I've always been around kids.
Yeah.
So I was going to be a house dad. We moved up to Dargaville, got a job at the meatworks. She was working at Wins. She'd been at Wins for 14 years. So we said, she'll continue working there. I'll stay at home and be a house dad, and eventually get a home kill and start up that way.
Oh, okay.
But after 1 year of being in the meatworks with all I've done some papers at uni as well, and with that side of it, next thing you know, I became a supervisor foreman at Silver Fern Farms, and I was earning way more money than she was. So,
okay.
So the role had to reverse. And I just continued working in the meatworks until we ended up getting married up there, and we had 2 young sons in 2001 and 2003.
Is Dargaville quite a big place? Or?
Oh, it's about 5,000 people, just a little small town.
So comparable to it's another town that's like that. I don't know. I'm just trying to picture it.
Just trying to think. Levin, maybe?
Oh, okay.
Maybe smaller than Levin?
Yeah.
There's only 2 main roads going through Dargaville, heading up through the Waipoua Forest.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to actually turn off. It's 40-odd minutes from the west coast to the east coast to Whangarei.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh. And the only way to get there is you've got to turn off at the Brenderwins, and it's I think it's about 70 k's. And you actually drive. A lot of people drive through Dargaville to go through up to the Waipoua Forest just to see old Tane Mahuta.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yep. And then you carry on up through to Opanoni, and then you carry on heading north.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, what brought you down to Wellington, bro?
Woman?
Yeah.
I met a woman.
Okay.
I met a woman up in Dargaville. She lived in Wellington. We knew knew of each other for about 2 years, and things took a turn, and we talked about it. So I said, I'll come down here for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And my 2 sons were at that stage. I was what do you call it? had 50% care of the boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. And then so the ex, she took over the boys full time, and I moved down here. It was just I had to try it.
Yep.
I wasn't happy in Silver Fern at that time. I was the night shift production manager.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Or the plant supervisor, they call it. Yeah. So I did that for about 2.5 years. Yeah. And then, so I came down to Wellington with her, and geez, it's been 7 years.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You said 50% care. Like, how did that work?
We just had turns at looking after the boys. We had when we separated back in 2010, I took the boys on full time.
Yep.
And then I moved. I went to Aussie with them. I didn't like it there. Came back home. Lived at my father's house for a couple of years. Then took a position back up in Dargaville. And so I had and I was working nights, so I'd have the boys Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'd pick them up sometimes, and they'd just come on a public holiday and would stay with me all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we just shared it that way.
Yeah.
That was all.
Okay. Yeah, I have a similar sort of arrangement with my girls. So with your boys, like, how would that like affect their growing up? Do you reckon? Like, were they used to like the back and forth, or was there like an adjustment period in between at the start?
Most definitely, because when I first moved back up north, one son didn't want to go, and he wanted to stay down with my grandfather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he loved where he was, and he was only 12 then, 12, 13, and he said to me, Dad, I want to stay down here. And I said, well, okay, we'll make it come true. So we'll just let him stay with his grandfather, and he went to Rossmini College, which is on the shore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, down in, Takapuna way.
Oh,
area.
Yep.
Yeah, so he went there, and all I said to him, as long as your grades stay good, then I'll keep you down there. But as soon as you start slipping, then I'll be bringing you back home. And I think within 9 months, his grades did start slipping. So come on, boy.
I told you, gave you a warning.
Yeah, I gave him several.
Yeah.
So, and then he ended up coming back home, and he wasn't too impressed because he ended up going back to his original. Because up in Northland, or where we were living, they had a Catholic upbringing.
Okay.
And the Catholic school there had the intermediates at the primary school. Yeah. So he had to go back to that, and he didn't want to. But unfortunately, that's what he had to do.
Yep.
And then the year after that, he ended up going to what they call Pompelia College in Whangarei.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's quite hard because they're catching the bus every day. So it was an hour on the bus every morning, and an hour coming home. So there were a lot of regrets in that side because they couldn't do much after school. They couldn't have after school work, and because they were just too tired.
Yeah.
They were up at 6 o'clock every morning. And
was there no other like colleges close to where you were? Or?
No, this was just something that my ex and I agreed very early on in our relationship, that because she was very Catholic and she went to church. I can count on my one hand how many times she's taken me to church with her. So we agreed that the boys would have Catholic upbringing because there was a great little primary school just around the corner from where we live, or where we did live, which was Arapahui Primary School. Beautiful school, but no. But and that's why when I had the boys, I still kept up that side of the Catholic. Even though I'm not a preaching Catholic, I still obeyed by our rules of separation. And then when the boys went to Pompelia College, and then I came down here, I could have brought them with me, but my philosophy and that was that the boys need to be, at that time of their life, stable in one school for the entirety.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to move around from school to school. Not at that age. It's very important.
Yeah. So you brushed on earlier about you had your kids?
Yes.
Full time?
Yes.
So you want to talk a little bit about that? Like being a solo dad, was it?
A solo dad, that's correct. Well, when my ex left, we discussed it, and I ended up with the boys, and I was going through a phase, and then I thought, I didn't want to stay where we were. Sometimes I look back and say I should have, because I had opportunities up there, But I still kept the house, and we moved to Australia to be with my sister, and who else was over there? I had 2 sisters over there, and I think my mother was there part-time because my mother just floats between country and country.
Okay. Yep.
And so I went over there for a bit, and I sold everything up. So we went to live in Aussie, sold everything up, got over there. I got myself a good job. So I was like starting at 8 in the morning, finishing at 4 in the afternoon. And it was good. It was well good. The boys could go to school.
Yeah.
I got them a good school. We lived in what they call a muse, a little what do they call them? Just a whole lot of houses in a secured place.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so you have to have a security guard to go through.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't much security. I mean, you could walk from my house and straight out onto the road. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So we lived in one of that, and the boys' school was just right across the road, which was a Catholic school. Yeah. We went over there, and that was excellent. We did enjoy it. I think we had a year's pass to Dreamworld and all that, and the boys at that stage were the ages. Let me work out their ages now. They were 10 and 8.
Oh, no, that's a good age.
Yeah.
For those sort of things.
Yeah, and so we just lived there, and it was nice, but there was something was missing while I was in Aussie.
Yeah.
And the boys loved it because we went to Dreamworld every Sunday, right? Because at Dreamworld you got the swimming pool and the rides.
Yeah.
And that was a great day every Sunday. And then and at night we'd go to the RSL, have a smorgasbord with $7 for a kid, $15 for an adult. That's nothing, you know. And that was enjoyable, but something deep down was missing. So I just decided one day with my sons, I sat down and talked to them and said, "Oh, what do you think about us moving back to Devonport and going living at Popper's?" And they just both went, "Yay!"
Oh, yeah.
So I just bought a ticket and we returned home. And I think that was so awesome. I moved back to where I grew up in Devonport. We lived in one room, double bed, the 3 of us for over a year.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it.
how's that?
Tiring.
Yeah.
That was tiring. It was excellent. I slept in the middle of the 2 boys, and then we lived in there for a year. I was working for a friend of mine, just doing some painting, Graham Bronwyn. Because when I moved back to Devonport, I went down to my old club, rugby club, cricket club, met up with all the boys, we just had a yarn. And one of them said to me, and a very good friend of mine, Graham, said to me, "I'm not having you being a bum. Come and work for me."
Right.
So I just went and worked for him, and it was great. Being in Devonport, we just lived on. I took the boys, bought them some push bikes each, and I showed them all my life growing up.
Yeah.
All the shortcuts,
Okay.
all those things, because it was so child friendly down there.
Yeah.
I believe.
It's a nice area.
Yeah,
It's a nice area.
they got the mountains, they got the beaches.
Yeah.
You know, and the rugby club in winter, and the cricket in summer. Okay, and the boys, one boy played soccer, one boy played rugby. So and it was great, and a great experience in my life, and I loved it. And then ended up getting a position back up in Dargle at the Meatworks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I decided that I'll take the boys and move back to the family home.
Yep.
So we moved back up there in 2014.
Yep.
I think I got the position back up there. Yeah. So and then we just kept the boy. And then I moved back, and that's when I moved to Wellington in 2016. I think it was
So
that was my period with being a solo dad. It was I loved it. I still got most of my photos I have in my bedroom now is of us at that stage.
from that time. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was such an awesome time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't hear that much about solo dads. So a lot of solo mums.
Yeah.
And it's probably refreshing, I guess, to hear a story from a solo dad. You know.
Yeah. We spoke earlier before the cast. I spoke about when me and the ex decided to split up. She said to me that that I'd have the kids because I would have sold the house and taken her to court for the kids because I'm more maternal. Yeah. Not putting anything against the ex, but I was more paternal because of the the way it was. Like I was looking after kids ever since I was 15. I've got half brothers and half sisters. I was looking after them at 16 and 17.
Okay.
I was taking them out, and everyone thought that they were my kids.
Oh, true.
You know, and the rumours used to be rife in Devonport. Oh, those are his kids.
Oh.
Hey, you know.
Did you look that old?
Nah,
Not much older.
I was bummy faced. Hey. But no, it was, and it was great. And I looked after them. When I went overseas, I lived with this German couple. They had, when I first moved in there, their second child was just born. Sorry, their third child was just born. Her name was Larissa. She was only 6 weeks old. And I stayed with them, and I was only meant to stay with them a month.
Yep.
But she asked me to stay on because she couldn't believe how good I was with a child of that age. Like I said, I taught my ex how to change nappies, how to bath them, how to hold them.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
I taught her all that. She was just, well, how do you know this stuff? To me, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's I taught her how to hold it, how you hold their heads and all that kind of, and it was excellent. And that's why I've always been. And then I stayed with that family in Germany for over a year because they had another child as well after that,
okay.
a fourth.
Yeah.
And then I said, I've got to move out. You know, you need your private. So I ended up moving out with one of my Kiwi mates, and they would not go out if I couldn't come and babysit.
Oh.
Yeah. And then when I finally left them back in, I'll show my age, 91. Oh, when I left, yeah, she wanted me to go to England and become a nanny.
Oh.
And I said to her, no, I'm not doing that. It's just because I was just good with kids.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look, I just knew how to handle them, and you know, yeah. But I've always enjoyed that side of it, looking after kids.
Like those girls? Did you say?
They had one boy, three.
Like,
girls.
did you form a bond with those kids?
Oh, as the
while
kids,
you were there?
yeah, they were amazing. Sarah, Larissa, and Alani.
Yeah,
they were absolutely amazing. I caught up with them back in 2007.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I went back over there and saw them.
So you still keep in touch, or?
Not since then.
Oh, okay.
No. A lot of other people I used to live with over in Germany, I did. Yeah. I still do keep in contact, regular contact, but them I don't. It was a shame because, yeah, their father was a Māori guy by the name of Bruce Kerr. He was from the Portuguese. Yeah, man, yeah. So it was amazing. He had, let's say, 4 kids. All the daughters were, you could see they had Māori in them.
Yeah.
But his son Jason, he called him the milkman because he was pure German Aryan race. He was white, blonde hair. You put them together and you go, hey, Andrea, what happened here? Bruce used to just look at me and go, yeah, I question her. I look at her. But they had this little indentation in the back of their ear. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And only him and Jason had it. None of the girls had it. Yeah. That was his sign.
Just so they knew.
Yeah, he said, yeah, he's my son. He's got
everything
that
else but that, it's mine.
Yeah. So I used to look after them as well.
Oh, okay.
Children. Yeah. Like I said, I wanted a bigger family.
Yeah.
But after the birth of my second son back in 2003, my ex, she just said, no more, we're too old. Because we were 37, 38. Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah, because we had, like I said, my first child was at 35.
Oh.
Yeah, I said my oldest son's 20, and my oldest son's 21, and my youngest son just turned 20 last week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of your ex,
yes.
How was your relationship with your ex now?
And it's always been good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We spoke about it when we first separated. I even helped her move out.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I had the power because I had the boys, but it wasn't the power. I just had the boys, and it kept me sane.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it kept me sane. If I didn't have the boys, I would have. Yeah, I would have sold everything to get them because that was, So I had the boys, so I helped her move. We had a great relationship. When we went to the lawyer to sit down and discuss everything with the separation and the boys and everything, we sat there at the lawyer's place, and he looked at us and he said, "Can I ask you a question?" We go, "Yeah, sure." You are her ex, we go, yep. And you two are sitting here. How long have you been split apart? Oh, a month. And you've been married 10 years, and we go, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, if you two can sit here and talk, you don't need a lawyer.
Yeah.
He said, I will make all my money out of you. You don't need to. If you two can just sit down like you are now, sit down, write it out, and sign it. He said, that's a legal document.
Oh.
So that's what we did.
Yep.
We just sat there and talked. She still used to come up and have dinner to see the boys. I'd still take them down to see her when she was flatting or wherever she was. Yeah. So, yeah. Of course, if she walked in front of me now, I'd probably turn the opposite way and run her over. Yeah. Oh, did I say that? Yeah. But unfortunately, life happens. It sucks.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it was about the kids.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see the kids going through war, drama, anything like that. To me, it was about the kids.
Yeah.
So that's why I had friends of mine and my brothers just going, dude, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, but they've got friends of theirs where partners are not allowed on the property. They have to get consent, lawyers' consent.
That's way too common.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because you're affecting the kids.
Yeah.
They're seeing drama.
Exactly.
They're seeing, it's not right. And I've always said that. Even though it pains me what happened, and it broke me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I left my job, and I just didn't want to live there anymore. But at the end of the day, it was about the kids, the boys. I wasn't the greatest father in the world, I can admit that, but I did everything for the boys. I can talk about some. I never did bad things in front of the boys. I did it without them seeing me because I didn't want them to see that lifestyle. Yeah.
I connect so well with that.
Yeah.
So like me and my girl's mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we have an awesome relationship now.
Yeah.
Like better than when we were together. But like our split was mutual. Like when we went to the lawyers and stuff, they were surprised. Because they don't see that. Like we just talk casually.
Yeah.
And like we're really good friends now.
Nice.
And but it was all for the girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like
no, it's not.
we play in like so. I have a similar like we said the 50-50.
Yeah.
So I get my have my girls every weekend.
Okay.
And like Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Right.
So I'll see them then. Yeah. And those it's just all agreed upon.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Nothing has to be taken through the lawyer, right?
No.
No, you just sit down and just discuss it.
Yeah. That's what we did. Like the initial separation was bang bang done.
Yeah. No, awesome. Yeah, and it's like I say because you've seen kids when they see fighting and all that happening. To me, it's wrong because kids are innocent. They should see only innocence. They shouldn't see that side of it. Yeah. And I think that's awesome, man. That's excellent.
Yeah.
And how old are your girls?
15 and 13.
Okay.
Yeah. So
turning into trouble.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to next like 10 years.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully, once they get around the 25 age, they'll have a little little bit of brains. But hopefully, I've done enough to point them in a good direction.
In a good direction.
Yeah. Go back to when you were a solo dad.
Yeah.
Did you get much time to yourself? Like to do like your own. Like, did you get that time away from your kids, or was that like a?
Like I said, it was every second weekend I drove the boys up to their mother. Yeah. That was my weekend away.
Oh, okay.
Because I still had friends up in Dargaville.
Oh yeah.
So I drove up on I finished work at. I think I worked with a friend of mine, Graham, for about a year. Then ended up getting a job as in an alcohol bottling plant as a supervisor there. Finished work at 4:00 on a Friday. I'd come and pick the boys up from home, and we'd drive up north. I'd drop them off at their mothers, and then I'd go AWOL for the whole weekend.
Yep.
So that was my time away. It was every second weekend. Friday nights down at the rugby club, or next to that is the old Masonic cricket club called the MCC. I used to take the boys down there on a Friday night. That was our Friday night buzz.
Yeah.
We'd go down there, we'd have a couple of beers, check the boys, see all the mates, the boys. The boys would always stop up the top of the road. I'd give them $10 each, buy fish and chips. They just walk down the hill to the cricket club. Dad would be there. I'll be having a couple of beers, saying I'm only allowed 4.
Yeah.
They'd come and ask me, Dad, how many you
How
had?
many?
I go, 2. Yeah, but if I had too many, because there was a lot of really good guys there,
Yeah.
we didn't live far. If I had too many, I'd say to the boys, we'll leave the car here and we'll walk home.
Yeah.
And we did. And it was only probably half an hour walk home. Yeah, but it was, because I'd never risk it. And because there was cops there as well, or one copper, But it wasn't that. It was the fact that I wouldn't wouldn't jeopardise the boys.
Fair enough.
But that was my time out.
So you're growing up, when you were growing up,
Yes.
has that affected like the way you parent your kids, or has it had any influence on it?
Oh, totally. I didn't want to get into that. I thought about this prior to it, and I didn't want to get into it too much.
Yeah.
But
I
thought about it, like getting asked that question. I was brought up by a solo dad, and I'd do anything for my old man. But the one thing I learned from him was never to give my sons the beatings that he gave me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to get hurrah hidings. I was probably a naughty kid. Okay, yes, I was a naughty kid. But I used to get hurrah hidings. And it was something I always said that I'd never do to my sons. I'd tell them off. I've got a very loud voice, domineering, and it can scare people when I get loud. And I used to have I'd kick them in the ass. But that would be, I'd call it the Johnny Wilkinson, but it wouldn't be to the tailbone or heel. It'd be the side of the foot on the bum. Yeah. And every now and again I'd probably get a smack, but nothing like what I got. So, but other than that, my old man, he worked. He was a butcher, but back in those days as well, there was no DPB for men, only women. So he didn't get any benefit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he didn't get any financial help from my mother either. But we grew up all right, I think. We grew up in a beautiful area. We were the poor ones in the area, but I loved it, And like I said, I'd do anything for my old man.
Right.
He took us. We did everything, like we did sailing and all that. But I hate sailing. Yeah, I never took to water.
Yeah.
I just played sport. That was me playing sport because Devonport was a real small community.
Yeah.
The rugby club was just down the road, and I used to take myself there.
Oh, okay.
I'd take myself to rugby training, take myself to the games, and it was just something that I did, and I enjoyed it. Because the old man was always working, I think. Because when I asked the question earlier about what my jobs were, I was at intermediate, and I used to ask the old man, where do you go at night, Dad? And he goes, I've got to go and do a second job. I go and break down beef. So one night I asked him, can I come with you? And that's how I started learning how to butcher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he used to go at night and he used to break down beef.
Yeah.
And I was I think I was 11, 12. So I used to go and help him do it.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned how to butcher him.
Oh, okay. But different from the yards?
Yeah, that's a retirement job, man.
Oh,
Well, it was, like I say, when I was up north, I worked in I was a foreman or supervisor for I worked in the boning room for, it was 10 years. I've done slaughter floor as well. And then the yard to me was the job. Yeah. I enjoyed it because I own a 10-acre block as well up north.
Oh, nice.
And I've got a home kill. I did have a home kill set up as well.
Yeah.
So and I enjoyed that side of the animals, and I was always out in the yards when I was a night shift supervisor. Just enjoyed that side of it. That's why there's only 20 people to look after instead of 165 up north. It's a lot easier.
We're up to so you now. So how's your relationship with your boys now? And like now you guys are older and
well, I always through their whole life I always said to the boys, you got to go to university. You got to go to university. Now I'm thinking, I think getting a trade would be better than going to university.
Yeah.
But saying that, my oldest son has got 6 months to go at Victoria University, and he's doing very well. He's doing what they call political science in Japanese. He's the smart one. When he was knee high to a grasshopper, we used to go when we were living with my father. We'd go, here's one example. My father used to take the boys for a walk, and he'd come back and he'd look at him and go, "This son is talking for the last 2 hours, and I don't know what he's bloody said to me." And he's just, that was Spence. So he's a very intelligent boy, and he has his own. But like, you never break it down. You just give them the tools to get better.
Yeah.
So I encourage him to do it. So he's got 6 months to go, and he's finished that. When he moved down with me prior to the uni, he did the first year free at uni.
Oh, yeah.
Right. He lived with me, and this is one of the how would you put it? One of the issues that I had with the boys living up north when I was down here, that they never learnt the value of money because they never worked up north.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big thing, learning the appreciation of money and the value of money.
Yeah.
Because when they came down, I used to fly them down. I'd give them $50. Spence would go and buy something, come back. He'd buy a pot of honey for $25. Didn't know what it was worth. Just little things like that. They itched me. Yeah. Because they weren't taught that. So when he came down with me, we made him work at Taylor Preston in the chillers.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the chillers. He was working. He got the value for money. And I said to him, we set down a 3-year plan. He said, right, the first year you get uni for free, you work, and all that money you get, you save to pay for your fees for the following year.
Yeah.
Okay? Any of your bad habits, you pay for yourself. I will pay for your food, help clothing, and I've got a roof over your head for the first year. So he did that very well. He saved quite a bit because they paid all right.
Yeah.
So he was getting good money. And then halfway through that year, he came up to me, in the second year, I should say, because he paid his fees for the second year, because then he has more appreciation for the uni because he paid for it himself.
Yeah.
So he did that. And then he came up to me and goes, "Oh, Dad, I want to move out and go flatting." I said, "Why? You've got free food, free rent." And he goes, "Well, that's what the students are doing." I said, "Okay, if that's what you want, by all means." So he moved out. He went and moved. Where did he go? I'm just trying to think. He went and moved. At one stage, he went and moved on what they call the sea line. It was a boat. It was a boat in the harbour next to Blue Bridge.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing was rough. Mate, this was rough. I dropped them off there. There was about 4 rooms in the sea line. And he said to me, "Dad, it's okay. They've got 7 bilge pumps." I went, 7? Whew, mate, if they had 6, I'd be scared. I'd be full. But because this thing leaked like it eventually ended up sinking. That's how bad it was. But he lived there for a while. He was still working, and he didn't want any of my help. He's very, very independent.
Okay.
And he had his plan. He knew what he had to do. So he continued working at Taylor Preston in the chillers. Oh, the freezers. Sorry. Freezers, yeah. And then when he moved out of there, I don't think I was. As soon as he said, "Dad, I'm moving out," bang, I was there to help him. I helped him move out. Oh, and he went and stayed in a real nice place up in Kandala, and now he's in a student flat. So, and he's still every now and again he asked me to get him something, and for example, yesterday I went down and saw him because I try and catch up with him as much as I can because I hate the fact that he lives somewhere else. Yeah. I keep telling him I want him home. As I said, I'm soft. I'm a dad. I just want my boy home. Yeah. But no. So I went down there and I tried to give him some money, and he won't take it. You will not take money off me. So I came up with some. Well, I didn't actually. I won some money, and I said, "Here, I won money. You can take it." And he goes, "I'll take it then." Yeah. He's very independent boy. Oh.
I guess it's a good thing though.
Oh, totally.
That is a good thing, but
yeah, totally. And I respect him for that. He's doing very well. He's got 6 months to go down there. Once he finishes there, he said he might stay in Wellington for a year longer, but he has this fascination of going and living in Japan.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's learning Japanese.
Oh, true. Nice.
Yeah, so I just encourage him, and I said, yeah, do that. The second son, It's a bit of a problem. Well, not a problem. He doesn't know where he is.
Oh, okay.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
But again, he moved down to Wellington. He did about a month at Victoria University.
Yeah.
Came and saw me and said, Dad, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And we had a bit of a talk, and I said, okay, if that's what it is, then we'll look at something else. Cross credit, do something else. And he goes, I want to do computers. I said, that's fine. You know, encouragement, support. Oh, there's no computer courses in Wellington. I've got to move back up north. Oh, no, that ain't happening. You're staying here with me.
Yeah.
No, Dad, no. So I succumbed. I said, yeah, okay. And he ended up moving back up north, back to his mother. He's meant to be doing a computer course next year, but I don't think so. Because Dad, again, listen to this. My house up north, he works just around the corner from it.
Yeah.
And I live 17 k's out of town.
Okay.
I got a 10-acre block in the middle of farmland. You can't see anybody. 3 houses from my, you can only see 3 houses from my deck.
Oh, true.
Yeah. The property,
Nice and secluded?
very. One opposite farm is 2,000 acres, and next to it, like there's mine, 800 and 1,500. It's just a little 10 acres in the middle.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I spent a bit of money on it last year to do it all up, and my son turned around and goes, "Oh, can I live there, Dad?" So my son now moves. I moved him in there about a month ago.
Yeah.
Him and his 2 mates. Ugh. Cost me more money him moving in there. They've just run to this. What's he done? He's just blown up the water pump,
Oh.
right? Because the tank emptied.
Yeah.
Just they've used 1 tank already. Right, they ran out of water, so I bought them some more water. They ran out of water again. The pump goes dry. The pump blows up. Get the plumber out there. Oh, you need a new pump. Oh, so I put a new pump in. You know, and just as before we got here, I got a phone call from my father. He's up there. Right, what do you want me to look at? I said, look at the water. Why are they running out of water?
Yeah.
But I can tell you now, 3 teenage boys from the city, moving rural, they don't understand the system of water.
Yeah.
If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. When they go for a piss, they must be flushing
it's
the toilet.
bang.
It's because it's connected to the water tank. Same as when I explain to them, when you get into the shower and you turn it on, you don't let it run. Next to it is a bowl. You fill up the water and you use that water to brush your teeth and wash your hands.
Yeah.
So you don't need to turn the pump on to get water. You know, you've got to teach them how to do this. Yeah, but I give 3 teenage boys.
Yeah.
They jump in the shower. They sit there. Because I put a whole new shower in the whole place. Me and the old man went up there last year, and we put new carpet, drapes, painted the inside, new kitchen, new bathroom, toilet, done the whole place up.
Nice.
Yeah. So and now he's enjoying it while I'm down in Wellington in a little poxy apartment. Yeah. But I'll eventually get back. My son keeps telling me, Dad, when are you moving back home? When are you moving home? He keeps asking me. So actually, the question that you asked before, the relationship I have with my boys now is, brilliant. I still love it. But like, my only regret is that I still want them under my roof.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a softie when it comes to my boys. Even my partner now says that I'm a soft. She says, "Oh, they ask you for something, I'll give it to them." You know.
That's my.
I think that's all of us.
Yeah, that's most parents. Yeah. Like I'm in no rush for my kids to move out, either of their mums or my own. You know.
Yeah.
Like I always wanted to be at least under one of our roofs. You know.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, especially like when they go through like after school, after college. So like I'm not big on forcing my kids to go to uni.
Yeah.
If they don't want to. Like for some people, like academics in school is just it's not for them.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to. I want them to do stuff that they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and like they enjoy doing, not just doing this because we've told you to.
Yeah. Because my oldest son, he was always being very smart.
Yeah.
So he's very academic. He was never, when we lived on the farm, he never, because I used to kill animals.
Yep.
Okay. He never liked he never liked to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He always had his back turned.
Yeah.
Or he'd say, I'll go inside, Dad, and when it's done, give me a call and I'll come out. He never liked watching that side of
okay.
it. We're talking about parenting. It's something that I actually did. People told me that it was wrong, right? But I didn't give a rat's. To me, it was my perspective in life. As a rural parent, I taught them how to kill animals.
Yeah.
I taught them how to skin them, gut them, and eat them, because that's what you do. For example, Cole was about 3, and we went round to do a home kill for some guy. We went round to kill some sheep.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he goes, "What? You going to let your son do that? Watch that?" I said, "Dude, that's nothing. Watch this." And I sharpened up the knife, passed it to Cole. Here you go, Cole, go and kill it. And the guy just looked and went, "What?" Cole walked in there and I just took the knife off him and said, "Nah." I said, "But he'll do it." But he didn't.
Yeah.
But I took it one extra step. Once we killed the animal, he was about 4 or 5 then. I could open it up and he'd be able to tell you everything that was inside the animal.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
At that age, he'd pull out, he'd grab it and go, "Oh, this is the intestines, this is the kidney, liver, heart, spleen, wezen." He'd name the whole lot. Probably couldn't name it now, but he did then. Yeah. And like also I something that we did, we named all our animals, even though I killed them all.
Ooh.
But the reason why I named them is because we killed them and I sold them on.
Yeah.
But that was our money for our holidays,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
That's what we used for our holidays.
Oh,
So
okay.
whenever we went on a holiday somewhere, the first thing we'd always do is stop when we got there and we go, "Right, who do we thank for this?" And we thank our animals.
oh, nice.
Yeah. That's my weird thinking.
Yeah. It's a nice way to look at it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. And because my oldest son, Spence, like he's always, I don't want to say he regrets the fact that we split up.
Yeah.
Right? Because he always wanted to learn that home killing side.
Oh.
He learnt it, but he didn't learn enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, we left when they were 10 and 11. And then when we moved up north, he still helped me, and he enjoys that side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, but pushing the kids into academic side now, I don't know if it's right.
Mm.
I don't know.
Unless they enjoy it or they love it. You know?
Yeah. Well, as I was saying, my youngest son, he went, didn't enjoy it. So we took him out and said, "Well, you know," he goes, "I only did that because you wanted me to, Dad." And I said, "No, I've never forced him to do the course."
Yeah.
I said, "I want you to do something and I'll support you. If you don't like it, then we'll change."
Yeah.
That's why he changed, you know. But, like I said, that's meant to start next year, and I don't think it will. But hey, I'll support him in whatever he decides to do.
For how long? So how long? Like 30s? If they're in their 30s and
Nah. Oh no. Nah. I have some. I'm going through some plans at the moment. My son has a slight disability. Okay, and very slight. And I've always wanted him to. Well, I thought would be beneficial for him is to learn how to drive a digger.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he can't walk very well and he's got no speed and reactions.
Yeah.
He can't do anything, but he can sit there.
Yeah.
And he can work that way. And being on a digger, because my father's got he's got a 5-ton or a 15-ton digger at the farm.
Yeah.
And I'm actually trying to get that up to my place so he can start learning how to use a digger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, up on the farm, go and clean those and clean that, and then do something like that. Be your own boss.
Yeah,
yeah. That's what I've told him. I've planted the seed.
Yeah,
and let's see what
to
he
see
comes
how it
up.
grows.
See how he comes up with. Yeah, because he's working. Like I said, he works just around the corner.
Yeah,
and he's at some sort of a retreat. It's not a retreat. It's where people dry out. A rehab for drug addicts.
Oh, no, yeah.
Something like, he works there.
Okay.
Yeah, and he just does painting and a bit of landscaping, but it's only 5 minutes. But as you say, if he doesn't want to do anything until then, well, like I said, I don't know how I'll go.
Yeah.
I never found myself until I was 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they said too that use your 20s to find out who you are and what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of time. And people think you have to get everything done by this time or that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I said that to my father a while ago. I said, my old man asked me a whole lot of questions. I said, yeah, but Dad, what you had when you were that age and what I had at that age, this age and what they have, they've got more doors to open now.
Yeah.
We had less. You had lesser. You
Yeah.
know? So there's so many options for us to do, and all we can do is be supportive.
Yeah.
That's it. Because as I say to my sons, this is their life. I'll help you as much as I can. And if I think it's wrong, I'll tell you it's wrong. But if you make that decision, that's your decision.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
That's like times have changed.
Oh,
Like
totally.
like dress like like you said, like options. There's so many things for like the children and like the young ones of today to aspire to do. It's not like back, you would be this or this.
Yes.
It was like growing up, what you wanted to be wasn't as broad like when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the options weren't as big as they are now.
No, I was the same. Butchering's been in my blood.
Yep.
And I've got two older brothers. One older brother and one younger brother. That they were doing it as well.
Yep.
Right, but they've left the scene since then. I'm the only one still doing it. But the only other thing I ever wanted to be, I think, was a builder, but I never did it. You know, but now I look at it and there's so many options. You know, you got professional sports if you wanted to be a sports person. You got the management side.
Yeah.
You've got, that's if you're into sports. Like my son at the moment, he's right into the MMA. He loves that.
Yeah.
You know, but there's so many options.
Yeah.
They've got more options than us.
I had a mate at school. Like, he was pretty switched on. Loved cricket.
Yeah.
Loved cricket. Knew he would never, make it as a pro cricketer. But he wanted to be a physio.
Yeah.
So he could be the physio for the junior cricket team.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. So it's like his thinking way back then was like,
Yeah, I some of my thinking, I played sport. I thought I was pretty good at it, and if I wanted to, I should have done more with it, but I'd never, But it doesn't. Some people say, what if you get in a time machine and go back and talk to yourself? I said exactly the same as what Diego Sanchez says. Still wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
But but no, I'm still happy with how it's gone. But options, options.
Yeah. Options.
But nah, I always wanted to be a stockyard manager.
Always wanted to work at the work. Chase your goals, kid.
Yeah.
Chase your goals, guys. Just to wrap us up, bro. Do you have any advice? Any advice for upcoming fathers or?
Enjoy it. Because one thing I've got I think I said earlier, the photos that I've got on my walls in my home with my sons when I was a solo dad, they were the best times of my life. The kids grow up too fast. Next thing you know, they're moving out and they don't want to know you. Like I'll give you an example. Like I rang my son and then I rang him the next day and he goes, Dad, I spoke to you yesterday. I go, and? He goes, nah, it's all good. See ya. And it hurts. So enjoy the moment now with your kids.
Yeah.
Because they do grow up too fast.
Yes.
And then once you look back at those photos, you'll never get that time back. Yeah. But as long as you got that memory and that you've done the best that you think you can, because there's a great saying out there from, I think it was not Osama. Who was the other one? What's that guy? Barack Obama. He's got a saying, and it is true. Anyone can be a father, but it takes someone else to be a dad.
Yeah.
And that is true.
Yeah.
I know people out there who goes, I got 10 kids, with four or five different mothers. But he's never seen them or never helped or that's not a dad.
No.
As my sister says to one of her kids, her father, the father of her two boys, she just calls him the old sperm donor.
Yes.
That's it.
I know a few people who have those.
Yeah. But enjoy your kids, man, because it is beautiful. There's so many memories I've had of my boys on the farm, being everywhere, and I can still remember looking into their eyes and seeing the enjoyment that they had in their eyes. I miss that, and I like I said, I love the part of being a father. Like
Yeah.
it's it's great.
Yeah, those young times, though, when they're young, boy, it
Yeah.
goes way too fast.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
I'll just give you something, which is you'll love this part.
Yeah.
We were, as I talked about my boys, we're sitting down one night having dinner, and my youngest son Cole, because we always used to have pigs up at the farm.
Yeah.
I'd get a little weaner piglet in, grow it up, and we'd eat it. One day we're sitting at dinner, my young son Cole looks at me and goes, "Dad, why do you always give away the pigs when they grow up?" Because he didn't know. They didn't see me kill them.
Yeah.
Because it was a pet, kind of a pet.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't show them that side of it.
Yeah.
So I killed it, blah, 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 and then I get him another piglet. So it's fun, like kittens and dogs, fun, but you don't eat them.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, and he goes, "Why do you do that, Dad?" And I said, "Well, you're a kid. You like piglets. You don't like them when they get older." And he goes, "Oh, I just give them away and get another one from Carlos." Like, "Oh, okay." And he just looks at me and goes, "Okay." My oldest son sitting on the left, Spence, looks at me and goes, "This is Junior, eh, Dad?" And I go, "Yep." Yeah.
Nah, awesome, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's
Thank
good,
you for coming on. Thank you for joining in.
No, I enjoyed it.
Bro, very insightful. Like, yeah. It's
Yeah.
good to have like just the solo dad perspective on things.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really good.
Oh, I loved it, man.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you inviting me here today. I hope it wasn't too boring.
No, it's good.
It's new for me too. But like I said, I got hundreds and thousands of stories with me and the boys.
Oh,
And I loved it. But yeah.
maybe the bro AJ might bring you on when he comes back for season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
Season 2. But thank you for your time today.
No, all good.
Thanks for joining in. And hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember to like, share, subscribe. As the bro AJ says, go home, love your wife, love your family, love your kids, because this is how we dad.
Excellent.
That was awesome.